Thanks, Translate. Welcome back to the show, actor and comedian Tony Rock. Welcome back to River City Live. It's been a couple years, man.
It's been some time. I've been back, and Santa's outside, so I went and got my gift out the way. I said, hey, Santa, I don't want to wait till the 25th. Let me get mine now.
Were you good this year? I have to ask.
Very good. He gave me a box of money.
Oh, nice, very good.
Thank you, Santa.
We'll be catching up with Santa in just a little bit. But, you know, Tony, it's great to see you. I know you're a hardworking guy. There's a lot of different things you're doing, right? So producing, obviously, stand-up comedian, actor, everything. So how do you balance it all out?
It's a lot of work. and I have a child. I have a 2.5-year-old. So daddy comes
That's
first.
That's a full-time job right there, yeah.
Daddy comes first, and then everything else, it becomes a little bit more enjoyable when I know that this is the payoff, that it's all for him, that he can have a great childhood, and hopefully Santa will be very good to him this year.
Let me ask you that. So, 2-year-old child, has that changed what you bring to the table as a comedian? Because there's a whole new world that you could tap into.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because obviously you're one of 8 kids, right? So that's something that's part of your comedy and stuff like that. But now having a child and being a dad, it's different.
Yeah, I used to look at it this way.
Yes.
Like I was one of 8 looking now I'm the head of the table looking this way. So it's a wealth of material. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of learning on the fly. Like you have a baby and they just let you stay at the hospital for a day and then it's out into the world.
That's the weirdest thing. You check in and there's 2 of you, right?
Yes.
And then you leave and there's a person in the back seat and there's no instructions.
Take care.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it works out. It's like no rhyme or reason to it. And raising a child is an entire crapshoot. It's just like you never know. You could do the best of intentions and roll the dice, and it's like, okay, it didn't turn out the way I thought it was.
But being a part of a big family, I would imagine some of that skill set you had, but it's a little bit different, because when it's a sibling, you could kind of just like go through the motions and take care of a kid, right? But when it's yours, you want to make sure you get it right.
It's very different when you're babysitting your little brother.
Yes.
As opposed to raising a child. Yes.
Right.
I'm like, hey, mommy said don't do it, but if you're going to do it, go right ahead. I don't care. But my own child is like, rules and regulations, and I'm way more strict with my own child. And obviously you'll be at the Comedy Zone all this weekend, so what can people expect when they come out and see you? Florida is a wealth of entertainment. Let's say that. We'll start with Florida.
Right.
We'll start with that. We'll start with, a little political. We'll go relationship. There's so much stuff to talk about.
So you said politics, the P word. So you're going to be talking about that, huh?
I have to. It's the hot button topic right now.
It is a hot button topic.
Everybody feels a certain way about certain people and certain affiliations, so you have to touch on all of that and see.
It's interesting because I feel like in the comedy world, though, even though it's satire, but there's still some truth to everything that is being said.
Absolutely. Yes,
so that's what's really interesting, because sometimes if you are very, politically attached to somebody and someone says something, it's like, it's kind of true, but at the same time.
We do the same thing you do. We're reporters as well. We just report with a comedic slant.
Yeah.
So we report the news just like you do.
But it's really important to have that.
We make the medicine a little bit more digestible.
So that's cool, though, that you're tackling that. I know I asked you this before, the last time you were on. Is there anything that you will not talk about?
Absolutely not.
And that's the answer you gave a couple of years ago, too.
Everything's funny if you give it time. If you give it some time and let people really understand the weirdness of the situation, then they can laugh at it. You can't talk about stuff the next day. People are still sensitive to it. But give it some time, and it's actually a test for a comic to see how clever your writing is, that you can pull this off. Yeah. When it was such a, hot button topic to begin with, but now it's like the way you wrote it, the structure, people say, hey, I really appreciate the way he,
Exactly, the way you tacked it. Right,
with tact, exactly, with tact.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, you'll see when you do the joke if it works, if it makes a lot of sense.
If it doesn't, is there like an out that you have then? So let's say you do something and then you hear like the ooh.
Well, ooh is actually, as a comedian, a response is a response. A laugh, ooh, oh my God, they're all the same.
You'll take it.
I'll take them all, yes. That's what you want. You want the reaction. It's not necessarily a laugh every time. So the ooh is not bad, but if there's silence, that's the thing that's like, okay, a little bit of sweat on the back of the neck.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you get a little nervous.
All right. Well, hey, Tony, thanks again for hanging out with us. You'll be at the Comedy Zone this weekend. To get your tickets, comedyzone.com. Stick around, more to come right after this.